Hi everyone, welcome to the Automotive Logistics and Supply Chain Red Sofa, this time in Singapore for our first ASEAN conference. I'm so pleased to be joined by Dr. Michael Nikolaides, who leads the Logistics and Production Network for BMW Group globally. So pleased that you can join us here in Singapore, and I know it is an important region for BMW as well.
It's great to be here, Christopher, thank you.
Excellent. So you here on stage, you were talking about BMW Group's Unleash ASEAN plan and strategy, which of course is to grow more of the region here. BMW has a presence across partners and local assembly plants, so a bit of a mixed network here with long supply chains, as you talked about, supplied from different regions. What are some of the challenges and aspects that come with managing that supply chain for this region?
So, as I explained, what we try to achieve with our approach is, on the one hand, to fulfill all the regulatory requirements in each and every country, which is rather heterogeneous, but on the other hand, to offer our customers the product portfolio of BMW with many different drivetrains and products. And this comes with a supply chain which has very long lead times. And I would say that is the main challenge which we face in that kind of setup.
So you obviously have to plan, have a strong visibility months in advance at each of the supply centers, as you said, leading into the demand cycles here.
Yes.
So one of the things you talked about, working with partners here in the region, for example, at partner plants, that you maintain BMW's production quality standards. How does it work in the logistics? How do you maintain the same quality process standards as you do even when you're working across such a heterogeneous partner network in this way?
So that is a very important point, because quality is one of the core targets within BMW, and we have process standards and technology standards which we apply independent of it's a BMW one plant, like a big plant in Germany, or if it's one of the smaller plants. And you can be sure as a customer you get the highest quality standard, and a BMW feels the same wherever it was made worldwide.
And that obviously needs to apply in the logistics as well, effectively, right?
Obviously,
yeah,
yes,
yeah,
sure.
Yeah. So, how do you see logistics and supply chain teams and partners here in the region further supporting the Unleash ASEAN strategy for BMW?
So I think we have two main challenges or areas of improvement we are constantly working on. One is bringing down the lead times, as we already discussed. And the second one is improving our efficiency, because you might imagine setting up a system like that comes at a cost, and bringing down these costs is one of the main targets we have.
Absolutely. And in our panel today, we're also spent a lot of time talking about how do we build a more integrated and resilient supply chain for Southeast Asia. What in your view are some of the, or one or two of the ways that can better happen from a regional perspective?
So what I think would be very important is trying to get a more homogeneous and integrated regulation throughout the countries, because that would help us to get economy of scales at a better level. I think that would be, if I would have a wish, that would be something I would wish for.
Absolutely, and we're talking about that with a number of different stakeholders here, because as you allude to, there's different vehicle regulation, requirements, customs, even though the region is trying to operate as one, so that definitely should be a goal. Finally, if we're thinking about resilience and growth here in Southeast Asia and ASEAN, one would expect to see more localization of supply chain and production. Do you anticipate more localization for BMW Group as you grow further in this region?
So obviously we are looking for more local for local sourcing worldwide. And in that approach and that strategy, our purchasing colleagues are constantly looking into the great suppliers we have in the region on the one hand. On the other hand, if you think about our small scale production network too, we're constantly monitoring if there are chances to localize some part of the car, because this also helps bringing down the lead times and increasing the efficiency.
Absolutely, but obviously the global network is to help manage some of the variation and give you that flexibility here too. Well, these are great insights, and as you see, there's a lot of opportunity for BMW and others in this growing yet complex region. We're so pleased that you could be here to share the messages with our audience, to talk about opportunities, and to further unleash ASEAN. So Michael, thank you so much for coming all the way from Munich to explain the strategy more to our audience as you set up the supply chain for more growth here in Southeast Asia.
It was great being here and making our points. Thank you very much for having us here and being able to explain how we unleash ASEAN.